Does our party have permission to teleport aboard? Find out today on Hapless Heroes.
I disagree. We're simply advancing in a different direction. Hello and welcome back to the Hapless Heroes podcast. My name is Dave, and I will be your host and Dungeon Master for this evening's festivities, wherein we crash aboard a ship. We'll start... let's switch it up. I'll start from my virtual right to introduce our cast. So on my right, we have Phil as Hedrick the Entertainer.
I'm not used to crashing parties.
To his right, we have Mike as Lord and Captain Quinn Southwind.
From captain to captain, I request permission.
To his right, we have John as Lord Jarrell the Light.
Should we row faster?
And to his right, we have Francesco as Felix Fizzlebottom.
No. I'm sure we can have a rational discussion like adults.
So we find ourselves in the most precarious of positions, with several of our members aboard the ship being held at sword point by what appears to be an officer of some rank and of some love of getting in brawls.
Oh God! I mean, like we're literally escaping an undead invasion. I feel like there's got to be
as long as you aren't undead, you should be
right.
And with the rest of you in the small ship still out in the harbor, about 60 feet out from the ship, and furiously trying to work your way in and maybe do something to help make things right here.
Mm-hmm. And you said that Hedrick is at sword point, essentially.
Yes, Hedrick is at sword point, and he has been asked, "Oi, what are you doing on my ship?"
Commander, my name is Hedrick Hounsworth. I'm member of the Heroes Hotel Doria. I am here to usher the movement of the people of this land. They have to get out of here immediately so that you can do your job.
Oi, my job's been doing perfectly well the whole time.
We humbly request your permission to board your vessel momentarily until we may be retrieved by our own.
Your own? I don't see any other ships around here that might be yours.
Look up in the sky.
Oh, that's a ridiculous thing.
I don't take offense to that because it's not my ship to command, so I'm just gonna say it is quite unique.
I bow to your ways of the waters and the oceans and your commanding efforts. But our sky vessel has brought us to lands of great terror, and they aim to spread their evil across these lands, and we cannot abide by it. We need your help.
Yes, the rest of our group is coming now on that little dinghy out there.
Do you point to Jarrell vigorously rowing?
Yes, it's almost cartoon-like. The point is starting to go up. It's skipping along the water as Jarrell bounces it into right into a hastily lowered rope ladder. Wow, that's more of a tongue twister than I wanted that sentence to be. Hastily lowered rope ladder.
The floaties on Jarrell's arms are now just looking more like pinwheels as they're just spinning around in rapid pace.
Yes, it's extra dignified. Yes, of course. Absolutely.
Everything he does is dignified, right?
Yes.
So while he's rowing, I guess Quinn grabs the rope ladder.
All right, so Quinn grabs the rope ladder, and he is the first up. The others at the top, you notice as they're pulling in, the commander sharply orders the men to stand down, and she sheathes her weapon, but has her left hand permanently attached almost to the hilt end of her scabbard, on what at closer examination appears to be a cavalry saber.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool. I assure you, we are on the same side.
Isn't that the sort of thing the other side would say too?
Yeah, I suppose you're right, actually. But the point stands. Or can I attempt to make that a persuasive, argument?
You can attempt to make a persuasive argument, yes.
Just to kind of maybe relieve some of the tensions here, because again, we are on the same side, and we're.
Still not getting any better, huh?
Wait.
It's
That's
an
a 1.
Did you
That's
just
an
have
take
to
your,
roll a nat 1?
I rolled a nat 1 on a very important check that I just had to ask.
Okay, so
I ruined everything.
That's the 20.
yeah, that's the 20 on my end.
Wow.
Oh boy.
So you nat 20 and he nat 1.
What does that mean?
Or the challenge check?
Persuasion. Yeah.
That's funny.
Versus insight.
Right.
Yes.
Damn it, Felix.
Well, it's exactly right. Keep it in your mouth. Exactly the sort of thing I want.
I'm convinced that I was entirely truthful, obviously. So now I think that she has my full and undivided,
And
Trust.
she circles around, and I would like you to make a perception check.
Oh, good. I'm great at those. 3.
You don't notice until it is far too late that she has circled around and separated you from the rest of your group.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
And her right hand is starting to stray dangerously close to the hilt of her blade.
So Quinn recognizes her as the captain, correct?
As she is wearing the rank of a commander.
Commander, right. Commander. So Quinn kind of yells to gain her attention. We give you our. I'm trying to think of how to phrase this. We come aboard to give you support. My crew is your crew. I give in to your command.
Well,
And he just kind of bows to her.
well, you should. It's not my command you need to worry about. And from behind everyone, I can't make the whistle noise, but I'm sure you might be able to shop something in or something. Admiral on deck! And the entire naval crew snaps up to attention.
I'm gonna follow suit. I'm gonna follow suit because I just don't know what else to do here.
Yeah, Hedrick would do the same. He's very much into the Navy aspect of this. It's part of his day, so he's at attention.
The Navy aspect of this part of your day.
Brand new sentence.
He's just taking it all in, yeah, I want to be a part of everything.
He's a joiner.
This is great.
That's for sure.
This is sure to be quite the joyage, I'm sure.
Yes, it's a pity that there's no goose iconography anywhere on this ship. On that Navy.
But yeah, so the admiral's on deck, huh?
Stand down! Stand down! And into the clearing in the middle of everyone strides a gorgeous human being. Like, he is very striking looking, clean shaven, save for a luxuriant and dark mustache that takes up his entire upper lip. His hair is perfect, as though it is a helmet molded onto his head in the style of a fashionable hairstyle, with a slight pompadour curl to the front of it. His uniform is a full decked-out navy dress uniform with a rack of ribbons that goes all the way from his shoulder epaulets, displaying his rank of Rear Admiral, all the way down to like halfway down the front of his chest. He looks every bit the part of the dashing naval captain that he is trying to portray that he is.
Well, Admiral.
Does he look
Down. There's no need for this.
As I say, does he look fancier than Quinn when he's wearing his oversized captain's hat?
You know what? Let's make this a charisma contest.
So wait, I'm contesting
yeah,
with him?
Yes, because we're contesting fanciness.
Okay.
The best kind of contesting.
I am so glad I asked.
So this is it's a charisma saving throw then.
No, just a check.
I hate you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do
Right.
you beat a 19?
21.
You are quite fancy and quite a bit the dashing rogue captain in the presence of a man that you've just taken a little bit of the shine from.
But I have to say, so okay, so then my response to him is Admiral, dashing as ever.
Ah, yes, your reputation precedes you, Captain Southwind.
I hear the sarcasm, but I let it go.
In before Lord Admiral Captain Quinn Southwind.
It'll
Benevolent.
All right, now here before Admiral Joseph Fraxamara. I'm sorry,
Proximara.
Joseph Fraxo. There, I need
Fraxo.
to be able to read my own writing better.
I assume that I would be familiar with his surname.
Yeah, yes, you would be familiar, as he is the Flag Admiral serving under Lady Southwind.
Mhm.
The Flag Admiral of the Flag.
I didn't even know about Lady
Southwind.
Southwind, so
Yes, but if you're trying to make your way as a privateer, you might know some of the forces to avoid.
cool.
It is in
Yeah.
your best interest to know maybe, some of the bigger names on the high seas. In the Southwind, you've seen it around.
So I take solace in the fact that I'm clearly fancier than him, but his ranking is just temporarily higher than mine.
And also, you're marginally fancier than him.
But fancier.
But fancier.
But fancier.
He can take solace in the fact that he is the commanding officer of the largest ship in the world.
That's fine. It's temporary.
Not the size of the ship.
No, it's the 150
I mean-
cannons aboard it.
The
Yeah, no.
unfortunate thing is I just rolled in on a dinghy. So, I'm recognizing the situation and I'm bearing with it for now.
Listen,
But it
to
was
be
a
fair,
Jack Sparrow moment.
right? And to be fair, the first ship we rolled in on was one that was airborne. So I
Which
mean,
was pretty fancy. Yeah.
and that's still going. I mean, it's not like it's gone. It's just that we're not on it.
Right. So I'm just accepting the fact that he just saw me coming on in a dinghy, and I am accepting the fate of the moment, and I am bearing with his command at this point.
Yes, the Lady Southwind said we should expect you here.
And I don't disappoint in many ways.
Oh, really?
Admiral, it's a
He
pleasure.
returns the smartness.
Wait, really?
Yes.
Oh, Quinn is definitely enamored.
Yes, in my notes for him, let's see, what do we have? Luxuriant stash, impeccably well kept,
Yeah.
brilliant but impulsive, and also lecherous and omnivorous.
So perfect.
Yes.
Great.
Omnivorous, he says.
It's important.
He sounds like Quinn's perfect mate.
Is omnivorous just a fancy way of saying bisexual?
Yes.
More like borderline sexually harassing everyone in his sphere of influence at all times.
He likes the meat and the veggies.
Never mind.
Being a brilliant naval commander has allowed him a little bit of leeway to be a moderate scumbag as well.
Gee, I wonder. I feel like I know someone exactly like that.
I mean, Quinn totally gets it. It's like he's found his doppelganger.
It's what we call the perks of the job, am I right?
And perks they are.
Anyways, we need to be on the move because the undead are literally on our. I don't mean to, tell you how to steer your ship or anything like that, but I think this is the last of anyone evacuating. And actually, now that I said that, Felix is questioning the words that just came out of his mouth, and he's going to send Slim to just take a quick perimeter to see if there's any stragglers still left ashore.
You leave that right where it is, yes you will.
Oh.
The commander pipes up.
Okay.
Yes. I believe you've met my executive officer, Commander Jenny Riley.
Yes, we've been well acquainted. I feel like we've established a great trust between the two of us.
Oi, yes, Commander Jenny Kill-O Riley.
Kilo?
That's a wonderful nickname. I wonder where you could have gotten that from.
It might be from the killings.
I do believe I do believe that flattery is one of the best ways to direct attention away from.
I imagine that at this point, Dilbertram, Frecken, and lastly Jarrell are finally coming over the rope ladder onto the bridge.
Oh, you guys didn't. No.
Well, I imagine the rope ladder would be relatively difficult for Jarrell.
Oh my God, you're a strong man. You can do it.
Yeah, no, but he let the other two go up first, and now he's the last one joining.
Yeah. Just clanking as you're like kind of banging off the side of the ship. Just the ladder's a little like rickety.
Well, the duck floaties are getting in the way now.
I mean,
Do they comically squeak?
They have to.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Thanks for a briefly, mildly awkward moment.
Yeah,
It's
Jarrell. Yeah.
Ladders across the ship.
Now listen here, Squeaky. I'll tell you, Squeaky. I'm here now.
So yeah, Jarrell would again board the ship, look around, permission to come aboard as he takes off his squeaky ducks.
They make that like absolutely horrid sound, like when you go to take them off, like that.
Oh yeah. The sucking, yeah. Suction.
Like,
Just the friction of it, yeah. Wow.
Finally, someone with manners. Now, stay where you are. As she turns and spins around towards Felix. I don't think I've finished with you, eh?
No, I'm sure we have lots to discuss. It's going to be a long journey back to the back to Ardwall. So yeah, we have plenty of time to talk. I would love to get to know you better.
Her blade flashes out of the scabbard and stops about an inch short of the point of your nose. Oh yes, keep talking.
I'm gonna keep riding the Nat 1 and just keep rolling with the flattery because I think this is all just like, maybe the way that we communicate, and I'm just trying to go along with it.
This is her love language.
Yeah.
Sure, that's actually a perfect kind of segue there, yes. So, continue to try to persuade, sure.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I mean, I'm just slinging. I'm just continuing with the flattery. Okay, that's significantly better. Math 26.
Hey.
That is significantly better, but she continues to be unmoved and holds steady. Don't bother. It's one of the reasons she's the best executive officer I could have. She's completely immune. Watch this. And he walks up, puts his arm around her shoulder. So there, hot stuff. Want to go back to the cabin? She turns and backhands him with a full swing, knocking him a full 2 feet back.
Great.
Hands off. Like I said, she's completely immune.
I wasn't trying to, woo or anything like that. I'm just genuinely interested in all the people that, are serving aboard this ship. We're all on the same side, after all.
Felix, have you ever heard of the term cock blocking? For God's sake.
I mean, I've heard of it, but who am I exactly cock blocking? I don't understand. We're just hanging out over here, Like, people are pointing swords at each other. We're all just getting to know each other a little better. It's going to be great.
People are pointing swords at each other.
Hendrick's definitely still shaking his head at the Admiral and his poorest of attempts to put a line on his own executive officer. Everybody knows you don't dip in the company pond. That's rule number 1.
He was just trying to illustrate a point. That's all.
Nope. No office relationships.
Hendrick knows
She
that.
is immune.
That's
She
fine.
is immune.
I wasn't trying anything. Genuinely just trying to be the charismatic person that I am, obviously.
Yeah. It's so drafty out here. We should retreat back to the conference bridge.
Oh, that sounds lovely. Let's go. We really should be going. This area is no longer going to be safe for much longer. I really should probably get back to this whole sense of urgency thing that we've been expressing this whole time.
So he leads the way very enthusiastically, and you can almost see him bouncing a little bit. If you listen carefully, you could even hear, "There's somebody on the ship. There's somebody on the ship. There's somebody on the ship."
Which parts of
He's
him
very
are bouncing?
Oh my god, dude.
Well, make an investigation check.
Oh.
I'm so happy.
Oh, he's entertaining it.
Investigation is an 11.
He got that ass, though.
That's all I need to know. All right, moving on.
So he's saying this to himself?
Yes.
Hendrick finds that a little bit strange. He wants to keep
Not
it close,
ominous at all.
Yeah. Even the bard can figure this one out. I'm sorry, I meant the musical bard can figure this one out. There's something fishy going on. Well, because I didn't want to make a general bardic, generalization, because we have 2 bards. I forgot about that.
And I'm infatuated right now, so.
So the scene cuts forward ever so slightly to the party being led by the good Admiral Mara into his boardroom aboard the ship here. A room that smells of leather and rich mahogany, as there are many leather-bound books, and this place is pretty much decked out in a very uniform shade of well-carved and well-oiled mahogany. He likes to reinforce that he is, in fact, kind of a big deal.
Yeah, I see that.
Thanks, Admiral.
I suppose it's adequate for a command base, yes?
Quite adequate.
So, and I'm gonna kind of like put just slap my hand twice on the side of right of the wall of where we are in here, and just be like, how fast can this bad boy get to Ardwall?
In an appropriate speed, of course.
It's just, I'm imagining the gnome like going, bang, how this thing?
Yeah, exactly. Just like leaning against it all awkwardly, like
like slamming his hand against side, like kind of, how fast can this baby go?
Just making like naive small talk at this point, because like I said, I'm really riding this Nat 1 for as long as I can, for just like how much I think I am liked aboard this ship.
Admiral, after your complete decimation of this wave, what is your next course of action?
As it appears that most have boarded their ships and gotten along their way, we are going to make sure that we are the last ones out, provide a appropriate escort, as it were.
Well, that sounds fine. Do you know of any other locations at this point that are going to be your top priority?
At the moment, we head towards Ardwall. Make a brief stop by the lighthouse of Legredex on the way back to Ardwall.
The lighthouse of Legredex? That sounds super cool.
Entirely not made up on the spot or anything like that. No, not it.
Great name.
I'm totally not just writing it down. Hey, the concept was there. I just had to come up with a name.
What's your purpose at the lighthouse? Certainly, a vessel like this does not need the aid of a conventional method for your average rowboat.
Strategic assets, my good man. Strategic asset.
Can we go on hold? They put my package outside. I gotta go get it.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
I'm gonna get a beer,
guys. I'll be right back.
No, that's fine. I was gonna make a comment about with all the cannons and stuff like that. I was like, I've been known to have some cannons myself, and I was gonna put my 3 fingers up. That's where I shoot my Eldritch Blast out of. But I think the moment's passed.
Fran, I walked away during your comment.
Oh, it's fine. It was a off-camera comment.
Yeah, Commander Riley is really just looking to cut on people.
Wow, dude. Wow.
Ooh. That's a little, man, you're taking the wind out of my sails. What can I say?
Get out. You can go.
I'm already out, Fran. That's the thing.
Yeah, go home, Phil.
Oof. Whoa, look at that. I'm home.
Well, good. I'm really glad that you've done what I've asked. I feel better now.
I am to please. I feel like I should get a better microphone. Because I don't mind doing this if we have to do this for what we're going to do. Like,
I know. I was actually going to drop off my little blue snowball for Mike, because my little extra snowball microphone. The other microphones I have, unfortunately, don't go through any USB. You need an interface.
Sorry about that. Thanks.
No, you're fine.
You and your fancy newfangled equipment that makes nice mics work on your computer.
It's just the old interface that we used to use. The little red one.
The most
Anyway.
advanced piece of audio equipment I have is probably the DAC I've got my headphones plugged into. So,
All right, let's count this baby back in.
all right, and then a 3, 2, and a 1, and now I'm trying to remember where I am.
he was talking to himself.
He was talking about something about the lighthouse and some shit. Strategic assets.
Yeah, something about strategic assets, and He got lost. He got lost in a moment of pique, staring sort of purposefully out the back windows of the room. He somehow, in the intervening time, and not a single one of you were able to perceive when, has either found or spawned a rocks glass of some sort of brown liquid in his hand as he stares purposefully out the back window. After a brief 3-second pause, he snaps and turns back to the group. Anyhow, what is it that brings the famed heroes of Telduria aboard my humble ship?
Well, sir, we come from, I don't know, I guess whatever town that is to the north.
Doppelpopolis.
Doppelpopolis. At least that's what John Rell likes to call it. He likes to call it Doppelpopolis. But, no, we saved all them people, right? So, yeah, we're going to skedaddle and maybe hitch a ride here and there, and we'll get our way back to fighting this horde.
Yeah, we did kind of arrive on an airborne ship, but we weren't really able to get back on it because we are kind of in the mode of fleeing at this time.
It's for the best. Who would want to ride on a coward's vessel like that when you can ride on the mightiest ship in the entire fleet?
I don't know. I mean, a flying ship is pretty cool, right?
The argument about size and strength can be negligible and subjective. So I believe to each his or her own, and I believe you'd have a very fine vessel here. But we've abided by the comforts of the wind and the clouds wisping between our ears. You could just understand flying amongst all the birds up in the sky. It's a surreal feeling, Amber.
It's its own kind of sea.
You say the word fly, and all I hear is the word flee. And that is not a thing we do. No, sir, not in a ship like this.
I would argue that's precisely what we're doing right now.
I disagree. We're simply advancing in a different direction now that our objective has been completed.
How does Quinn respond to his?
Advancing in a different
direction.
I was just asking how Quinn would respond to his vessel being called a coward's vessel, but
yeah, that's true. My jaw dropped in real life when he said that.
It's what you would think, because he's super fucking biased towards his ship. I mean,
I admire your bravery, Admiral.
But of course,
And that's it.
I admire my bravery as well.
Totally playing flattery at this point. He
Oh,
is
good. I'm glad we're using the same tactic.
He is. Well, you failed, and
Excuse me. Task failed successfully. Thank you.
I'm trying to get laid. I'm being honest,
I'm just trying to make friends.
and I don't think Quinn's had a man in a while. He's had a lot of veggies, not so much meat.
A lot of veggies, he says.
Now, Admiral, surely you could understand the movements of a fish are very close to the movements of a bird. The way
he's still trying to make this point.
I love this.
I kind of knew, I had a couple of NPCs and I had a location, and I'm like, this is just gonna this has got legs.
It's we just really lean hard into these role play scenes that we just lose ourselves.
Well, I'm sorry, we don't even really get. It's hard, not getting together, man. It fills a different void now. I sit on my screen, and I just want to bullshit with you guys.
I can still make this stupid voice no matter where I am.
And my voice changes every single episode, so it doesn't really matter.
And I can act like an egocentric sex addict anytime I want.
Yeah, shouldn't it, what could also be, between all the hours as Quinn, it should be just you could quit being one anytime you want.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good.
Never.
Can't stop being Quinn.
Can't stop, won't stop.
In an effort again to continue to fit in, Felix is going to search the room for some other rocks glass.
Okay, fantastic. Let's see. Let's. Geez, I guess we want to call it an investigation for the room.
Sure, I could do those. Are way better than perception, so I will take it. 17.
17. A 17 can find a wet bar. And
That's
he
great.
has it within striking distance of where he is, in his broody looking out the window spot.
I will pour probably the lightest brown liquid I can find, and then use prestidigitation to chill it.
Admiral, do you mind? Apologies.
Apologize for nothing. Our esteemed guests aboard this vessel, of course.
Oh, Felix, pour me one.
I will pour Hedrick one and also use prestidigitation to chill the liquid.
Oh, just how I like it.
What's a little bit of social lubrication between friends, am I right?
Yes, of course.
Absolutely.
Here's to your victory.
I certainly know I will always feel triumphant in the end.
Yeah, I really appreciate you having us aboard. It means a lot. We definitely needed to get out of here, and in lieu of not being able to reboard our ship, we feel flattered that you'd have us.
But anyway, you mentioned the speed of this ship back to Oddwall. Honestly, I couldn't tell you. Speed isn't exactly our strong suit. You see, when you have dominance over the area around you at all times. What is speed?
It's a long day.
We ride in style and comfort.
Quinn raises his glass to that and then downs his drink.
So, Admiral, if I may, what is your sense of urgency? And what does that mean to your command?
The Southwind goes wherever it pleases and exerts its dominance over the waters around it at all times.
Wait, I'm sorry. Is this ship called the Southwind?
Yes, it is.
Well,
And
yes, it does.
Southwind's flagship.
Wow.
Okay.
Well, we
Quinn,
now have a-
Quinn has this feeling of like just being in the right place at the moment. Like he knows that this is where he's supposed to be right now.
Technically, you're the only Southwind aboard the Southwind right now.
That is also, as far as we know, true.
Yeah, as far as we can gather. That is correct.
Right.
Anyway, since it's going to be a little bit of a voyage, I should show you to the esteemed guest quarters aboard the ship.
Yes, that would be lovely.
Admiral,
Quinn's
do
thinking
you
in his
have...
head that he's not going to need a guest room.
Uh-huh. Go ahead, Jarrell.
Admiral, do you have a method of signaling our ship?
What sort of method do you need?
I mean, really anything would work. Flags, lights. I don't know.
Oh, I can make lights. I can shoot little magic fireworks with my prestidigitation.
I don't know what this navy actually uses.
They're the ones who have been credited for inventing the semaphore language that is most commonly used around the world here. So they most definitely would have a set of those flags aboard the ship. Or even those Navy signaling flags that they all, like all the wacky flags are different letters and you can run them up the thing and you see them at like naval-themed restaurants and crap.
Okay. I actually had an idea that I could about using magic to signal up if they can just get us in visual range of ship, and I was going to use a combination of prestidigitation and minor illusion to create the shape of magical letters one at a time, kind of moving in a line that just says "We're good" and then the OK hand.
Now, do we not want to join our ship? Why do we want to sail to the lighthouse and then to
Because of the assets. Did you not hear the Admiral? The assets, Jarrell. Sometimes you just got to use your head.
And sometimes you just got to revel in the fact that you're an esteemed guest. Now we don't have to work.
I'm all about that.
I'm curious as a quote unquote holy man, how you feel about a life of luxury.
Well,
Are you
first of all,
kidding me?
Darrell,
He has 3 people who are doing most of the work for him all
But I
the
mean,
time. He has the biggest tent out of everyone in the group. It's like he is nothing but luxurious. This man. Are you kidding me?
What I'm saying is, living an adventuring life with luxury compared to just living in luxury and not having a care. Like he's got his hands tied. He's not doing anything. And I wonder if that weighs on his mind.
well, that's the problem, is that we're just kind of going for a cruise when we have some pretty pressing matters to be taken care of.
Jabriel, I know you're, afraid of the water and everything.
He's not afraid of the water. He's afraid of drowning, and not even afraid. He just knows he can drown.
Yeah, I know, but you ain't really afraid of anything.
Correct.
So that could be, a little difficult to manage sometimes. But maybe just you got to take a break every now and then.
I'm gonna ask a question that I'm afraid to ask.
Which is?
What happened to the 2 boys that we rescued? Essentially the Phineas and Ferb of, fantasy, the magician and the artificer.
Yes. Well, you loaded them onto one of the ships, but did any of you actually keep track of which one they got onto with everybody?
Nope.
No.
That was like,
It's a question that could have been asked earlier. I didn't want to just dangle all the details in front of everybody.
It could have been asked earlier. So really, as long as I can get confirmation that they definitely did board one of the ships, that is all I need to know.
I'm sure you could probably find out, but that's not the sort of thing that was kept records of. It was something of a panicked evacuation. But I would say that what kind of range does Slim have?
I mean, she can technically go about 1,000 feet, but I can only communicate with her within, I can only look and perceive through her senses within 100 feet. Let's see. I'll double check that just to be absolutely sure.
So you could have been sending Slim up to the airship this whole time.
Well, I was going to try to send her out to survey things, and then
That's probably the winning play there anyway.
And our friend told me that I was not allowed to do that because she had her eye on me and then put her sword in my face.
Well, there was that too. I mean, it was a different time, and it might still be that same time. She's still a little belligerent.
Okay, apparently, Voice of the Chainmaster says, while I'm on the same plane as my familiar, I communicate telepathically with it.
There you go. So, I would say that with permission, you might be able to send Slim to survey some of the ships and make sure the boys are all right. And we would say you could get an answer on which ship they're in about 2 hours.
I'm good with that.
All right, so we'll put a pin for 2 hours in real time. You'll know which one of the ships the boys are on.
Wonderful.
So sometime around what would be, I can't remember what hour you guys crashed through the gate. So it's after lunch now. It's 1 in the actual afternoon.
The actual afternoon.
a short rest.
Oh, good. I get that spell slot.
Yeah, actually, you guys, I would say yes. When do you want to send Slim Shady? Before or after you are shown to where the quarters are?
I mean, after is fine. Because that's kind of when I thought about it.
Okay. So you are taken several decks below. This is a relatively deep ship as well. It's got a beam of something like about 90 feet. So it's 90 feet from top to bottom. There are 3 different rows with cannons, 25 per side per row.
Wow.
So multiple floors. So he takes you down several flights of stairs, still on the upper decks of this large ship, to some well-appointed but vacant rooms towards the stern.
Wonderful.
And there are 6 rooms with a common area on one end of the ship. And he shows you guys to what would be sort of the VIP suite. As this is a flagship of the Navy, it sometimes does carry Tessa Southwind and anybody who might be visiting with her at the time. She doesn't command the ship, she commands the Navy, but she still has places to use on this ship. And since the quote younger brother of Tessa Southwind is on the ship, it was natural that you guys get the suite.
You're welcome.
Excellent.
Yes. Feel free to get your bearings, relax a little while. Meet me aboard the deck in, let's say, an hour and a half.
That sounds good, Admiral.
Yeah.
I could do with a refill.
Yeah. So I figure this is a good enough time to just introduce a short rest. If there are
that's fine.
short resty things you guys need to do.
Yeah, I get the 1 spell slot I spent back.
All right, so as long as everyone's got things taken care of, we fast forward just a little bit, and now it is something in the neighborhood of approaching 3 in the afternoon. Sounds about
So I would have.
In the actual
Yep.
afternoon.
So I would in the actual afternoon. So I would have found out by now that where the
Yes.
the boys we rescued are.
Yes, the boys are aboard a converted garbage scow that they are somehow managing to continue to convert while it's floating.
Nice. Nice. All right. Good to know.
Okay.
Just want to make sure that we have, that they're still part of the evacuation.
All right. So you guys eventually make it to the deck of the ship to meet the Admiral at 3 o'clock, as you had more or less agreed, an hour and a half from something like, I called it actual 1, let's call it 1:30, somewhere in there, I don't know. 3 sounds good.
There's a 3 and 1:30.
Look, details hasn't been what we push hard here.
No.
But, so, yes, you guys make it to the deck of the ship, and the Admiral is waiting there towards the front, up near, the whole Titanic kind of spot on the ship would be if one were so inclined to do so. Something
Is
you
that the
have-
bow?
I like
Yes,
yeah,
the bow. Hey,
the Titanic.
we
The
really
bow
like,
of a cruise ship. That's enormous.
yeah. And bow seemed like such a general term,
It's what
But
it
here
is,
I
man.
am, I was overthinking it, and I somehow wound up understating it, because freaking words, dude. But anyway, one thing you guys notice going up to that foredeck is there are griffin roosts on the deck of this ship, as it is that large.
Griffin roosts.
Yes, 4 griffins are now stationed on this. It looks like they had been fitted relatively recently,
Oh, cool.
as the nations of the world and now the frost giants are starting to kind of share things.
Yo, did we actually get the frost giants to negotiate with the fucking humans?
Giants. They were cloud
I
giants.
Oh yeah, cloud giants. Yeah, cloud giants. Excuse me.
I believe Jarrell did most of that.
Yeah, that's true.
And I wanted to make sure that sort of reflects in the world too.
Cool.
So now this dreadnought has mild aircraft carrier capability to it.
That's fucking awesome.
Love it.
Jarrell is very excited to see the Griffins because he liked them a lot the first time we got to ride them.
I can show you the. No.
10-year-old. Yeah, woo!
Needs the bow of a huge ship when you could have a griffin,
Por qué no los dos? Am I right?
So good to see you aboard the deck. Had to make sure to reassign Commander Riley towards helm duty for a little while. Otherwise, things could get a little bit heated.
Whatever would you say that for? We were getting along beautifully.
I mean, relative to her, yes, in that all of your blood is still in the same place it's been, but I mean, let's not play that string out too far.
Sure, yeah, whatever you say.
Yes, trust me, she is an ill-tempered woman.
Oh, you got that right.
Anyhow, so we make our way back towards Oddwall, escorting this veritable flotilla of citizens that we have saved. Being the grand heroes that we are, we should pass the lighthouse of Legredex by tomorrow morn.
Can you, maybe clarify a little bit about these assets you were speaking of? I mean, it seems like such a small detour. I wonder why you were bothered.
I mentioned, though, it is a strategic asset. You see, the lighthouse of Legredex is on one of the main islands that secures the channels between Blood Bay and the bay further in that has no name on maps, that I assure you is named something quite glorious and Sea Lord.
You know, I've heard about the bay with no name. I've never seen it before myself.
I mean, very few people sail there. One, because the Kingdom of the Sea Lords keeps it locked down with our naval might. But also because there's not really much there except for, the back way to the city of the Troll King. Something about, Anyway, I don't want to give away all of our tactical secrets. Suffice it to say that we cannot lose the lighthouse, else we lose naval supremacy.
Well, that sounds grand.
So we must protect the lighthouse.
He mentioned the back door to the Letter of the Troll King, which would be Scrag,
Yes.
which has already fallen. Which, if that's the back door to Scrag, okay.
Yeah, but those are things happening on land. This is a naval commander. His purview is limited.
Yeah,
Sure,
but you know what they say about back doors? They swing both ways.
Chris.
Anyhow, we shall see the lighthouse by morn. Well, what shall we do with this fine evening?
I think, we need to just maintain surveillance of the area and party our asses off.
Yeah, and
that is the sort of question the sort of answer to a question.
It wasn't a question.
God, now you're gonna make me keep it in, aren't you? You're gonna make him forever that mistake. You're a bastard.
Because I can.
Okay, I find if I keep trying to fill the air with words, eventually I'll make a different gaffe. And then you'll be thinking about that one. And then won't I have one? Yes.
I'm gonna like you more and more, Admiral. I mean, honestly, you're good people. Put up a good spread. Appreciate that.
Don't I ever.
I might retire to ritualize a bit, before partaking in any revelry.
Yeah.
Ew.
No, I mean like an actual ritual.
Now that you've found your way around, I invite you to explore several of the decks of this ship. Obviously, some of the military areas might be off limits. Guests don't need to be going into the cannons, for example, but there are plenty of areas in the VIP quarters that might be quite suitable to all. Library, for example, with many rich leather-bound books. Haha.
Yeah, I know. I noticed Captain Southwind here was checking out a number of the decks on board.
So many decks.
Oh my god.
And I can't wait to explore them.
Oh,
Yes.
boy.
They've been swabbed clean by the High quality steel on this vessel.
Perfect. Just the
And-
way I like my decks.
If you like us, we can be found on the internet.
Woo, I am sweating, let me tell you. Oh, I'm schwitzing.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's a
We
little,
are
little muggy.
Foul tray.
So
Gonna
where
be
can
putting
they
the air
find us
conditioning
on
on
the internet?
tonight?
We can be found on the internet in such places as apparently Pornhub.
Oh god.
But actually, no, we cannot. Dear God, no, we cannot. Those are not tasteful nudes. Those are not tasteful nudes at all.
I did not consent to this.
How did they come up with the cosplay?
Oh boy. Where can they really find us, Dave?
Be found on such places as Twitter at Hapless Heroes, Instagram also at Hapless Heroes. We can be found on Reddit /r/Hapless Heroes Podcast, and you can also find us on Facebook, Hapless Heroes Podcast. Every single one of those places is a valid place to find us and things about us. But all of them will really point you to where you can really find the real us. Our Discord server, where you can meet and interact with us on a daily basis. We are always there to meet, talk D&D, talk other games, mildly and gently and tastefully heckle if necessary, and meet what's really the highlight of our Discord server, our fantastic community that's grown up around this podcast of people who continue to download our episodes week after week, hoping, I don't know, that I'll someday become funny. It'll be great. But until such a day, you guys are just going to keep dipping in that well, and we're going to, try to keep rewarding you by producing the quality content that you've come to know and love. Now, if you do really like us, you could leave us a 5-star review on the podcast service of your choice. I trust that you found a podcast service for us. We're on just about any of them of note, and if you leave us a 5-star review there, that helps us get visibility that we can use to reach more like-minded people like you, grow our community, and just generally have a great time playing D&D for the internet. Now, if you really, really like us, though, you could donate to our Patreon. We have several levels of rewards for Patreon. Some of them confer a title on our server of patron, and that grants you access to a channel, gets you some bloopers, our undying affection, and coming up on June 20th, we have...
Wait. This episode is coming out June 22nd, so...
Oh, never mind. And in the past, we will have had a thing, and it'll be... Yeah. It will have been great.
Yeah. We will report back on the success of it when it actually has happened, which will happen now, but it's not happening currently.
Now. Like, right now.
The time is relative. I keep telling you all that. Same with shoe size, all of that.
I hear though, if you really like us, love us, Sally Field, and the whole deal, you're going to invent a fuelless jetpack, and you're going to strap the largest banner you can on the back of this thing, and you are going to fly around the entire planet promoting our podcast, saying, "I love Hapless Heroes Podcast" on your banner. You stop for breaks and stuff like that, set a world record though. Be the first person to fly around the world with a jetpack promoting a podcast.
Yeah.
Don't you want to set a world record?
You should. You should set a world record.
If you want your miserable life to mean one thing, one little thing, just get your jetpack. Just get your jetpack. Fly around.
I should caution all of you listeners, jetpacks are in fact impractical and dangerous. But since listening to this podcast is exactly the same, I guess I don't really have anything to give you aside from our outro. So to my virtual left, we have the fabulous Felix Fizzlebottom, played by Francesco.
There's always a plan.
To his left, we have Lord Jarrell the Light, played by John.
Now this will certainly be a joyage.
Haha. To his left, we have Lord and Captain Quinn Southwind, played by Mike.
I am schwitzing.
And to his left, we have Hedrick the Entertainer, played by Phil.
Where did that commander run off to?
My name is Dave. I've been your host and Dungeon Master for this evening. We will see you next week with the continued adventures of the Southwind and the heroes of Teldaria. Goodbye now.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye.